Good morning, Inkies. I hope you are well. Today I'm going to be working in my Hobonichi. I can't say for sure if I'll be working on one page or many pages because I have gotten to the point where I'm super stressed that I'm super behind. And I don't like that feeling. I don't like how it makes me sort of anxious. And because I use this as my planner, I'm always sort of looking at things. I've got a million school notes and things to deal with. I've got my husband's Valentine's Day card. I've got a lot of everything sort of busting out of the pockets. And I've got a lot of pages that are not like done, and I kind of get to that. I started putting the dates in for this week, or last week I should say, and I didn't get anything done, but I'm trying not to stress. So I've got like bits and pieces from when we went out to the city on the weekend. We did the Chinese New Year thing twice, one during the day, and we only got to see half of it because it got really hot. It's still summer here. And then last Saturday night the kids begged us to go back so we could see the rest of the attractions and also see it when it was all lit up, which I'm really grateful that we did because it was just beautiful. I picked up bits and pieces from all around because they had lots of ephemera sort of going. I've sort of chopped things up because they were just big pamphlets. I've kind of cut down, you know, the little cherry blossom bits that I wanted from it. This was inside one of the pamphlets that you were meant to put this on like a wishing tree, which I didn't know at the time until I found it. And then because we spent over $40 at the bookstore, once we all got a book each, we also got this little red envelope that had a discount in it. Well, it still does because the discount that we got was only for 10%. And we have a membership card with Kinakuya, which means we get 10% anyway, so it was kind of a bit mute, but I loved the envelope that we got, so I was happy with that. Oh no, it's not for the bookstore. It's 10% off the Japanese restaurant. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, now it's not so bad. I should have actually read it before. At first I was like, oh, it's just for the bookstore, we already get that. So I'll tell hubby about that, and maybe we'll go and take the kids to have Japanese for lunch. I've got bits and pieces of ephemera from stuff. I got some really funky headbands, so I've got all the stuff from there. And I do have, I feel like I've got more that I'm missing because I have, is it in here? Tag off my dress. I've got, are these more school notes? I've got an engagement, like I saved the date for a wedding for one of John's cousins that I'm actually helping do the lolly bar for, which will be fun. And so I've kind of just got bits and pieces of everything. I did stick some of the packaging down for yesterday because I got some mail from I want to say Bam Kuhan because I say Bam Kuchen and it's not, that's not what it is. So I sent my original Midori away before it became Traveler's Factory. This was the Midori brand. I sent it to Bam Kuchen, I'm just going to call Kuchen because it's just, I can't help it, and got it customized because I love the camel, but I always wanted my original one to be done, and they finally opened it up to international people, so I sent my precious baby to be embossed. So I've got Bambi there, and then I've got Trust the Process. Now I did have my pen loop on the side, but when they put all the pieces together, they said because of the inside pockets it will be so high and it would look it wouldn't work with some of your pens, and they're right. They made a good decision to contact me. So I opted to go with the pen loop on the front, which I think once it patinas and everything, it will look very beautiful. I got the same pockets as my camel here, but on this one, instead of doing the zipper pocket, I just did the secretarial pocket because I don't have any intention of this being a wallet, but I do like to keep things like photographs and ephemera and bits and pieces in my TN. So I've actually put my weekly highlight book in there, so I thought that would be nice. And I'll show you my camel so you can see the difference. So obviously I have one of the actual pen loops from Traveler's Factory. Raven, stop it. And I got the little Bambi, and now that I've seen how big and beautiful the big Bambi looks, I really wish I'd been brave enough to do that on here, but it's okay. This one, I got the same sort of pockets. As you can see, this is doubling as a wallet. At the moment, I'm using a smaller handbag, so this doesn't fit, which is why only some of my cards are in here. And I also have the zipper pocket in here, which has more of the sort of store cards and things. So all those sort of ones that don't fit, that we don't use on a regular basis. And then I have the zipper pocket here for change, and I've just got the kids sort of school money that I give them on hot days to get an ice block. So that is that one, and I got the Imagination Can Take You Everywhere embossed down here. So yeah, that one's my camel, and I do love it. It is beautiful. I wish it was smooth like this one. I have done lots of like looking and perving at ones that were used and stuff, and I don't think it'll ever get to the point that this one will, with that sort of shiny patina, but it'll be interesting nonetheless to see how it goes. But they're my two customized TNs, and it's not a cheap experience. It's not at all cheap. It did take me a little while to save up to get this one done after I had gotten this one as a Christmas present. So yeah, but now it is time for me to put some Netflix on and just let myself journal my day away, not sort of stressing too much about what I'm doing on camera. I've got no idea what I want to do. I know I would like to paint something, draw something, but I don't know what, so I'm kind of just letting myself go with the flow. So this will be it will be sped up for you guys, and I don't know, I have ideas. I have some things that I want to do for some of the pages that are like back here. I did start typing up some poetry for some of my books from a poetry book, which I don't think I have near me right now. Or yes, I do. So this one is called The Naked Human by Christopher Poindexter, and as you can see, I've like got a whole heap of tabs in here for poems that I'd like to either type up or write up and put within the pages of here. And I was going to use that as one of my sort of big catch-up pages, just a poem and some photographs. I actually have his newest book coming to me from Book Depository. It is absolutely beautiful. He's on Instagram, so a lot of his poetry and stuff is on Instagram. I'll leave him linked below if you're into that sort of poetry. Not all of it I love, but there are certainly some of his shorter things that just sort of make me I don't know, smile, and they always hit really hard with some of them, so that's why I've tabbed some of these. I actually said to my sister I'd buy this for her birthday, because the samples that I sent to her that were my faves, she totally fell in love with. So I definitely want to include some poetry and stuff and that sort of thing into these pages. I also really miss my B6 and sort of doing some free writing, so I think in the next couple of videos I might work in this, because I feel like I've sort of disconnected myself from doing any very much written journaling about my feelings and stuff like that, and that sort of is not doing me a service mentally, because I always sort of let my stuff go in between the pages of this sort of journal. And as you can see, I haven't done anything in it since my last video where I showed this journal, and that's like in December of last year. So I feel like I definitely need some time in this. I'm considering doing a week in the life of a journal keeper to sort of reacquaint myself with this journal, and that's kind of where I think my brain is headed towards, because I need some definite time in here. I would love to really sort of get this journal finished and dusted and sort of move into my standard size and go from there. But I better start drinking my tea and get journaling, because I have so much to do. I did buy new sprocket paper. Where did I put it? So I ran out, that's right, I ran out of sprocket paper before I tried to film the other day, and so now I'm glad that I've got some sprocket paper, and my printer is here, and I have a drawer full of supplies ready to go. No clue what I'm going to do today. I've got my paint water at least. But I hope you enjoy whatever the heck happens in the Hobonichi with me. Because I'm so far behind in my Hobo, and I've got in my weekly spread a lot of notes about highlights for certain days. I've grabbed out some sticky notes and I'm going to actually start writing them down and putting them on the corresponding days, so I have a sort of little bit of an idea at what I'm looking at, because I'm trying to work out which day was what, and I thought that my kids started school on the 23rd when actually it was the 30th. So instead of having to flick back and forward between my weekly spread where I've been keeping highlights sort of down below some of the days, I am going to sort of go through those highlights now. I mean, some of the things all I've got written is studio blog, which doesn't help me in the slightest, but those will be some of the days that I put either some poetry or sort of that sort of thing, sort of filler pages that haven't gotten, you know, or maybe like a photo of my favorite mug or something to do with the kids, something like that, because there is only so many you know, pages where I want to have pictures of my camera and filming, because again, this is what I do for my job, so I'm doing it constantly, and I don't want to just be, you know, portraying that in every single drawing. So I'm going to quickly sort of capture some of the highlights down and put them on the corresponding days so that I can sort of not have to flick through. I've been scrolling through my photographs on my phone to try and work out dates of things. I haven't even done the Mary Poppins thing with the girls, which was here on the 26th. I'm just feeling a little bit scattered, so I'm just trying to rein it all in and not get overwhelmed. So I'm going to do the highlights. I'm going to do that off camera because that's boring footage, but I'm just telling you what I'm doing to try and get myself organized and sort of start speeding through some of these pages and not doing as much of this sort of detailed work, only because I want to keep it going. I would rather have something on the page than nothing on the page and then have a whole heap of nothing and then give up. So I know that at least if I get some things, I can start putting photographs onto pages and stuff like that, that I'm building some of them up in stages, kind of like how I work in my B6. But I need to get some of this stuff done, and then as I feel a bit more calm about the whole situation, I'll then start going back and filling in gaps on pages. I'm trying my very best to make sure that I get as much of my ephemera into my journal, the photographs printed into my journal, and then I can sort of sit there and think, okay, what do I want to draw? Do I want to draw anything? But at the moment I've just got a whole heap of big fat nothings, and it's really sort of making me twitchy. I don't want to fail, so I'm going to do my very, very best to make sure, where are we, the 22nd, and I've got the dinner at Maria's, which is John's mum and dad's, and then I had lunch with a girlfriend and I went to Officeworks. Well, that's boring. But I think this was the day that I was going to put the poem and stuff. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to do this off camera so I'm not boring you, and I'll be back.
I was only trying to do my job. It wasn't my fault. And then Vic.
Vic, who has worked for me for a very long time, who knows what he is doing.
Fine, whatever.
Oh, no, we're not done here, young man. You want to explain to me how I found this in your bedroom? What, you think you're the first kid that's ever taken a drink in high school? No. This does not solve your problems.
I'm out of here.
Fine, take a walk, Archie. Clear your head. While you're out there, think about how you need to shape up!
We are gathered today to mourn the passing of one of our own. Betty. Sweet darling Betty, you've come to pay your respects.
Well, Uncle Claudius was family, so mourn with us, cousin.
Tragically, this ungrateful town never welcomed Claudius to its place.
I have to keep telling myself that it's okay to be behind. The day-to-day life of what I do, and being a mum and being a wife and trying to keep the family together and everything running smoothly while doing this is a massive job, and I need to give myself a break and to stop expecting to make miracles happen when it comes to my work and when it comes to daily journaling. Now, I don't want to give up, and I keep talking about giving up because I get so behind, but I'm just going to keep trucking along and know that in time it will get done, and I will be happy with it when it is done. And I'm never going to be up to date. I need to accept that now, here in January, and know that I'll just keep plugging along and keep taking my little notes, and in my spare time and in these videos which you guys are enjoying, which I'm very grateful for because they're very helpful about keeping this on track. I'll get there, and we'll all get there with our journal. Not all of us have the time and the motivation to daily journal. I like that the dates are there. It does help keep me accountable, but it also brings with it guilt, and I want to sort of push that guilt aside and just enjoy the process of making these pages and documenting mine and my family's life, because I know at the end of the road I'm not going to be thinking, oh, I felt so guilty not being up to date. But at the end of the year, when I have a book full of beautiful memories of our family and our days together and all those little stolen moments, that's all that's going to be there in the end, and that overwhelming joy of, oh my goodness, I did it. I just need to keep thinking about the end game and not how I get there. It's not how we get there with our journals. It's just getting there and enjoying it and letting it happen organically and letting it happen on our own, mistakes and all, slow and all. We will get there, but I need to stop beating myself up for the fact that it's not being done on a daily basis. I am being mindful with what sort of supplies I use, knowing that I've got so much washi tape and so much ephemera and so many things just sort of sitting in my studio. I am trying to use them all and trying to sort of put ephemera down that may lend itself well to tapes that I wouldn't normally use. And this is a way for me to sort of help get down my stash. I know that I love bright colors and I love pinks and yellows and greens and blues, but I have a lot of vintage tapes, whether it's been gifts or whether I've gotten them in swaps or however I've acquired them. Or sometimes I do really love the look of vintage tapes, especially with Instagram showing you all those beautifully done minimalistic sort of Asian style Midori pages with all their beautiful browns and sepias, and it's delicious to look at. And I buy the things like you guys do when you see me do things. I buy these items and then I suddenly don't seem to pick them up, and I definitely need to start using these supplies and create journal pages that have that colorway so that I'm making the most out of the supplies that I have. Use it or lose it needs to be a strong 2019 message, and definitely if I'm going to journal daily, I want to make sure I'm using all my supplies, not just a little corner of them, the things that feel comfortable to me. So I am trying to bring out ephemera pieces that would lend itself more to different color palettes, and in a way trying to get my stash down. I'm using my pink colour Eno here. I finally put leads back in it. I'd been so lazy. I have heaps of pink leads, but I just hadn't put them in, and so I hadn't been using it. So I finally got off my butt and put some pink leads into my pacer, and it reminded me of why I love this pencil so much. The lead is so soft, and I love drawing in pink. It just seems to give a softness to my sketches that I hadn't felt in a while, because obviously I was too lazy to put the lead in. But I wanted to draw a weird little selfie because I got my hair re-pinked and, you know, chopped and all fresh and bright. And because I had done nothing else that day besides get the Spellbinders deadline done, I knew that I had a hair appointment that night at 6:30, and so I could walk into that hairdresser knowing that I'd gotten my deadline done. I was happy and proud of what I created, and I talk about this euphoric feeling when I've done collage sheets and I'm done and dusted them for another month and I feel on top of the world. I had that feeling walking into the hairdresser knowing that I had nailed a Spellbinders project with little to no time, and I woke up that morning having absolutely no idea what I was going to make, because I had such a tight deadline for both projects that I had only really worked out one of them. And so this was definitely a really hard one for me, but I got it done and I smashed it. I was really happy with what I created. And I remember walking into that hairdresser knowing I had nowhere else to be. I had nothing else to do that day except relax with my book and get my hair re-pinked. And so I had that sort of walking on cloud 9, and I definitely remember feeling that way when I was sitting in the hairdresser. So that's why I sent hubby a selfie, because he normally comes to pick me up from the hairdresser. So that was, instead of pasting the picture that I sent him, I decided to just quickly sketch one out. I am using a pink Copic multi-liner here. Again, sometimes I like drawing in pink, but I also like outlining in pink. This is a 0.1, I think, and I do love lining my sketches and illustrations in color.
Dancing around with someone better. Until then I will pause forever. Keep taking my time through boxes and light. We were so good at flying, but we can't keep flying. We keep getting stuck on the wrong side of the mountain. We were so good at trying, but we can't keep trying, 'cause we only end up on the wrong side of the mountain.
It is the next day and I am slowly getting into the rhythm of it all. I did my journaling for this page off camera and just drew a little Polaroid film, like a frame around here, And I also started to draw some things on the next page to try and get a little bit of a head start, because I am finding it hard to get into my rhythm. And I don't know why that is. I think it's because I'm just trying to make, when I have trouble fitting things into a page, I kind of just get to the point where I'm like, yep, don't want to do this anymore. And I'm almost at that point with my Mary Poppins page, because I have so many pictures I want to use and so many sort of feelings and thoughts, and I don't know how I'm going to get it all on the one page. And I kind of am at that point where I don't know what to do, and I thought maybe I should print these two smaller, because I tried printing these two smaller and they've cut off Sam's face on the side, and I don't want to cut off Sam's face, so I have to keep these two large. But I am considering putting these two as like smaller, like 2-to-1 print on the sprocket, just for some room. I drew my drink from that day. This is also meant to say Cherry Tree Lane, which is the sign that was up at the grounds, but my handwriting is so bad I just don't even want to attempt it, so I'm probably going to glue a piece of paper in there. I've painted the kites, and then the next day we went to see How to Train Your Dragon with the kids, so I drew Toothless. I used a photo reference to help me with that, and I put movies here, and I'll put some journaling in his belly, and I'll obviously watercolor that. And then I got some ears for my pink gamer headphones. Nothing, you know, really crazy. I did have this like picture, but I thought sketching it would be better, and obviously I could essentially put the photo of me here somewhere. I do regret putting this giant Ghostbusters thing down, but I think if I tried to remove it, for once I glue down something good and then I decide I want to move it, it's always the way. But I think maybe I'm gonna have to put the photographs on here. Thought about cutting around them. And then I go back through my old pages to sort of give me ideas on what I've done previously. And I'm just may have to also open up my old Hobo to give me some ideas on space and stuff, because this is what happens when I get to a point where I'm like, oh, I don't know where to go next. And so I always sort of look at my stuff to try and work out what I want to do, where I want to go. I mean, I could do something very similar to this, like a little creature, and that might actually work. We shall see. We shall see. I have quite large pictures, so I love Hub's rainbow socks. I could do a creature, that's very true, and just use the three of us as that top bit, and then keep these. I could tip them sort of down here. Where is that creature thing? Let me see. I mean, I do like the idea of having the fountain in the background, but I'd much rather enjoy looking at my page than keeping an element that's going to stop it. Where is it? Let's see. And then I could make this body. Okay. Anyway, I should probably go into speed and stop sort of babbling and talking. And I thought maybe if I can find a way to use the fountain somewhere else.
Sometimes I revel in the construction of pages. I really enjoy the challenge, and I like putting the pieces together, and I knew that I wanted to draw a creature. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I needed to just let myself play and let myself experiment. And some pages really work and they're great and they're amazing, and then some pages are a bit of a train wreck, but that's life as well. Some days are great and then some days are a train wreck, but we show up, we do the hard things, and you know, sometimes we come out okay and sometimes we don't. But I wanted to create a monster today, and I was just enjoying the process of trying to make it work. Now, even though I know there are so many photographs from this day I have over 300 between the three of us, but I knew that I wanted to have the essence of the day captured on this page, knowing that I have other journals that could be filled with the beautiful photographs. I just wanted to make sure that I had the feeling of the day down. I knew that I'd spent the day with two amazing women who have become my best friends, and I talk and gush about them all the time. And the magic and the wonder of something as simple as putting up decorations that sort of reflect one of my very favorite movies. And even though it was for the reboot, I love Mary Poppins, and it is always a beautiful reminder of my childhood. And everything was just so beautiful, but I didn't want to have 50 million thousand photos. I just wanted the essence and the feeling, and I've talked about this before with putting like the pattern of my dress and things like that. Sometimes putting too many photos on the page, I lose that feeling, and I wanted to make sure that I documented the day and got a few of the little bits and pieces that were perfect, knowing that I had other places for the photographs to go, knowing that they're not, not putting them on this page didn't disqualify them or make them less important. But I spent the day with my two best friends, enjoying the sun and enjoying lunch with them and enjoying something that was linked to my childhood. And so I definitely wanted to make that a priority when making this page. And monsters are my heart song, and whenever I can get a monster on these pages, I definitely will. And I was in the mood. I woke up with the itch, the monster itch that I get when I want to draw something or paint something that's a little bit whimsical, and I figure out a way to get a damn monster on the page, even though there was no monsters on this day.
at you from a distance. I can, so beautiful. I can hear you within the silence. Ooh. You had me at hello, 'cause where you go is where I go. I don't need nobody else. I got you, and you got me too.
You came right out of the blue. I wanna do what you want to. We can leave and run away someday, someday. I've been saving you, and you save me too. Yeah, I need it, don't you need me too? 'Cause I need you. Yeah, so call me anytime that you need a favor. Call me anytime I can come and save you. Oh, oh. Call me anytime that you need a friend. And call me anytime when you're at a tight end. You, I got you,
And you got me too.
we can always make it through. What we do is what we do.
I can take you anywhere, somewhere. We won't be scared.
You will see me flying high. I'm staring into your blue eyes. We don't need nobody else. I got you, and you got me too. I've been saving you, and you save me too. Yeah, I need it, don't you need me too? 'Cause I need you. Yeah, so call me anytime that you need a favor. Call me anytime I can come and save you. Oh, oh. Call me anytime that you need a friend. And call me anytime when you're at a tight end. You, I got you.
You got me, got me. You got me, got me. You got me too. Got me, got me.
I've been saving you, and you save me too. Yeah, I need it, don't you need it too? 'Cause I got you.
And you got me too. It was always on fire, our house, our dreams. We were dancing on a wire, reckless it seemed. We found holes in these walls, we like what we saw. Seems so strong until it falls, the final straw. Oh, I never felt like this before. bound to make mistakes. Real love, we thought, but it was always on fire. Our house, our dream. We were dancing on wire, reckless it seemed. I never felt like this before. When I was trapped, you showed an open door. I had no reason to complain. I didn't have the words to explain. I never felt like this before. When I was trapped, you showed an open door. I had no reason to complain. I didn't have the words to explain. Then we were dancing on wire. Yeah, we were dancing on wire. I think that I'm going to hiding somewhere by a gated star. Baby, they ain't never gonna find me. I'm a renegade. I could be the one who saved you from this hard place. We could be as one and we'll escape. We could run away, we don't gotta stay. I can feel it, it burns inside me. Take away the pain, we can go insane. I can feel it, it burns inside me. We could run away, we don't gotta stay. I can feel it, it burns inside me. Take away the pain, we can go insane. Trust me, I won't let you down. I won't let you down. Yeah, I won't let you down. I won't let you down. Oh, I won't let you down. We could have the world to ourselves, going to a place that's far, staring at the stars for hours, 'cause you're a renegade. I could be the one who saved you from this hard place. We could be as one and we'll escape. We could run away, we don't gotta stay. I can feel it, it burns inside me. Take away the pain, we can go insane. I can feel it, it burns inside me. We could run away, we don't gotta stay. I can feel it, it burns inside me. Take away the pain, we can Some gates never get to open 'cause it's too late. I could be the one who saves you from this place. Baby, they ain't never gonna find me, find me, find me. We could run away, we don't gotta stay. I can feel it, it burns inside me. Take away the pain, we can go insane. I can feel it, it burns inside me. We could run away, we don't gotta stay. I can feel it, it burns inside me. Take away the pain, we can go insane. Trust me, I won't let you down. I won't let you down. Yeah, I won't let you down. I won't let you down. Oh, I won't let you down.
Looking for my mother's eyes as I'm staying close to the mirror. A lock of gold, a secret smile, little things I remember. Place a hand upon my heart as her, she was a believer. Sometimes I can feel her arms holding me as forever. Time changes everything, and everything will change in time. Love changes every heart, and any heart can change you. I see in you my mother's eyes, and I lay your head to my shoulder. A lock of gold, a secret smile. I will tell the magic places in the world I've been to, this is where my heart is. Oh, you know it's true. No matter where I go, I'm coming home to you. Been walking down the street so many times, my feet know every brick and stone. Could wear a blindfold. No matter what I do, I'm coming home to you. And I don't know why, don't know why, don't know why, I'm always feeling homesick. Oh, all I know, all I know, all I know is this is where my heart is. Oh, I have seen many places where the beauty never ends. Different cities, friendly faces, and perhaps I'm going back. But I don't have to be chasing every dream that I have. Oh, 'cause the thing is, I've got more love here than I can bear. Ooh. Of all the magic places in the world I've been to, this is where my heart is. Oh, you know it's true. No matter where I go, I'm coming home to you. Been walking down the street so many times, my feet know every brick and stone. Could wear a blindfold. No matter what I do, I'm coming home to you. And I don't know why, don't know why, don't know why, I'm always feeling homesick. Oh, all I know, all I know, all I know is this is where my heart is. Oh, of all the magic places in the world I've been to, this is where my heart is. Oh, you know it's true. No matter where I go, I'm coming home to you.
Take a leap of faith, run with me. Clouds go by and the sun is set high, and I believe you when you say that this is never gonna change. Say, would you like to spend your day with me always? Be brave, we don't need far too much, just stay brave beside me. Happy days, running on the open fields, yeah. Take on me, I'm worth your while. Honestly, I'm running a bit wild. Be brave, we don't wanna change. Say, would you like to spend your days with me? Oh, be brave. We don't need far too much, just stay brave. Here beside me, oh, happy days. Running on the open fields, we'll stay brave. Yeah.
This is as good a day as any to start the rebuilding of life. The roads that lay open are many when the old one's gone under the knife. And I can feel the sun on my skin.
I might leave it here and make this a two-part series because I can tell that I'm going to sit here and fuss with this little dragon for quite a while. I know I've got black watercolor somewhere here and I can't seem to find it, and I just know that I'm just going to sit here for the next 2 hours fiddling and fussing, and that is not quite the content I wanted for you guys. So I will come back on the weekend with your Saturday video and finish these pages up and probably start some more. I still have quite a lot of ephemera and stuff to do, and tomorrow is Valentine's Day and hubby is taking me out to high tea, which was a nice surprise. But I definitely want to continue on with a few more pages because I know it's helping me get things done. I do need to do some not some drawing, but some writing and stuff. And I feel like my kites need a bit more work, so there's lots of little tidbits that I want to work on, and I just know it'll elongate the video way too much. And so I think I'll quickly make this a two-parter and do a whole finish off these pages in the next video, and then do some more, like create some more. I might draw some on camera this time, I'm not quite sure. I know it's easier for me to draw off camera, but we shall see. If I can work out what I want to draw beforehand, which is half the problem, then that will make things a lot easier. That's still wet, stop touching Courtney. But that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed watching me create some different pages for my hobo. I will be back with some more, and I'll talk to you guys next weekend for part 2. Bye!
Something's gotta give today. It's a good